Hey everybody, Sean Malloy coming to you from Patriots Landing, and I hope you're doing well. Got a new piece of equipment for the farm and the lease. You know, we've got a lot of trails. Here at the farm, I've got about 3 miles of trails, and we're probably got a couple miles worth of trails at the lease. But, you know, the jungle grows, and it grows out to into the trail. The trees are trying to get sunlight for their leaves, so they'll put their branches out. And when you're driving down the trail in your ATV or golf cart or tractor, and even walking, you get slapped in the face with briars and sticks and branches. And I've been looking for a solution for that. There are a couple solutions out there. Most of them require hydraulics on your tractor. I've got 2 tractors, and just to have hydraulics put on my tractor, when I called John Deere, it was going to be about $5,200. And that was more than the machine that you would hook up to the tractor to cut trails. And then I came across Stout Designs LLC and the TrailBlazer-HD, and they offer this in a hydraulic version, but they also offer it in a gas powered version, and it mounts, as you can see on my little John Deere 3320. I've got my 4052R over there that it could mount on too, but this thing is got great reviews, and it does exactly what I want to get done here at the farm and at the lease. So it just arrived yesterday. I haven't put a drop of gas in it yet. I've called Joe at Stout Industries, Joe Stout, and he's walked me through the process of how to get this thing operational. So I bought some fuel that requires 91 test gasoline or higher. So I went to the store and got 93 octane. And we're going to put that in there. I already checked the oil level. It's good to go. So once we get the gas in there, we'll get this thing cranked up, and we're going to do our maiden run on the food plot back here, the Purple Heart food plot, which has just been, the whole trail on that one side of the food plot has just been overgrown by like 5 feet. And I really want to see what this does, because if it can do that, it can do anything that I need it to do. So I'm really excited about getting started, but let me get some fuel in it, and then I'll get it running, and then we'll do a little walk around and kind of go from there. So let's do it. Come on. All right, we got the fuel in it. Little tech tip on the fuel: it is going to require a funnel of some sort, because the fuel tank is down here below this this box, and with, at least with the kind of can I've got, it just doesn't pour. You got to push it against the intake for it to open up the valve, so it'll put gas in there. So I either need to get a different type of spout or carry a funnel with me. So just a tech tip there. Also, there's nothing to hold this up when you're working in here, so I use the bungee cord off of the blade safety to put right there and hold it up. So now that I've got that taken care of, I can take this one off, and we're going to secure the hood back. It has 3 screws here that have knobs on them for. Now these black knobs, I've had them on other things, and they always get lost if they come out. So I'll probably end up spray painting these orange, bright orange, so if I ever drop one on the ground, it will be easily found, because that has happened with some other type knobs. All right, so everything's secure there. So let me back this up. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the safety stuff off of the blades and get ready for operation. So take this bungee off, take this bungee, pull this off. We're going to leave this here with the truck, and just going to make sure that everything looks the way it should look. There's no wiggleness. Everything's tight, nothing's warped, nothing's going to touch when these blades start spinning. So Always do a little safety check there. All right, next thing is we're going to turn the choke on. So we got that on. And then there's a turtle for the speed of the motor. Turtle and a rabbit right here, so we're going to put that on the turtle to begin with. The red latch here, get you down here where you can see a little bit. So as I was saying, the speed of the motor is right here. So there's a lever right there, press back and forth to speed the RPMs up on the motor. We got our pulley here. This is an engine stop. Want it forward when you start it. This is the choke on and off. So we're going to start in the on position, and then we're going to see if we can crank this thing without wearing ourselves out. So let's give it a crank. I'm going to move you back a little bit to give me some room. Well, can't believe it cranked on the first goes. I don't have it on rabbit yet, but when I turn it on rabbit, when it gets over 2,000 RPMs, the blades will engage. So they will be engaged at the full speed when we use it. So we're going to engage them, and then I'm going to shut it off with the red valve, and that shuts the fuel off. And then we're going to restart it and then go cut some stuff. Now that sucker is loud. All right, so that cuts it off with the red valve. We're going to push that back forward and put this back on snail, or on the turtle. Started on the first pull, which is awesome. You saw how those things engage, and you saw and heard how loud it gets. So hearing protection, if you're around this thing, you're going to need to have it on. When I got back here to the back, just to see, the noise isn't, it's just normal lawnmower noise when you get back here. But up here off to the side of it, it's pretty daggum loud. So you want to have your hearing protection if you're using this. So I'm going to go in and get some hearing protection and wear that when we get it cranked up. So with that, we're going to go over here to the Purple Heart food plot, and then when we get over there, I'm going to set everything up, and then you'll get to see this thing in operation for the first time. So let me get my hearing protection, and we'll get started. All right, I'll see you in the field in just a few minutes. All right, we're here at the Purple Heart food plot. It's one of my favorite food plots. It's the first food plot we had on the property. Now we have like 4 or 5. It's a little 1/3 acre, maybe not even that, maybe a 1/4 acre food plot. But as you can see over there, this trail has just grown up in the places where I used to drive the tractor and the ATV, and it's starting to make me curve out into what used to be the food plot. The other thing is we got encroaching branches all the way around this food plot. So this is one of the tools that I wanted, so I didn't have to come out with a handsaw or a pole saw or a chainsaw or whatever to clean up the edges. So I'm going to position the camera where we can get a look at me coming that way and trimming all that stuff down, and you'll get to see me coming and from the side view and from the back side view, and that should be pretty doggone exciting. So I got my hearing protection, so I'm going to move the camera down there. We're going to get set up, and then let's get to trimming some branches. Let's do it. All right, I'm going to raise this thing up as high as I can so we're not looking up into the sun. And this will give us a good view what this thing can do. Let's go get her going. Didn't break the motor. It's still purring like a kitten. Take this off. We're going to go over here and I'll show you the after. All right, so we started over here, and man, I love this food plot. I've killed a lot of deer and a bunch of turkey in this food plot. And it's only about 200 yards from the house. So here's the after. I'm sold already. What did I learn cutting? This is my first 50-yard lane here. Got to take your time. Cedar trees are going to give you a little bit more of an issue, and just because of the way the branches, you got branches going up, you got branches coming down. And it's just a different type of wood to cut into. But the small sapling and stuff, it's like butter going through it. So that was good. A field like this, it hasn't had any maintenance literally in probably 7 or 8 years. And I was able to clean it up. I had to do a couple passes, but that's to be expected. But once I get this thing cleaned up, then it's just maintenance every year, and it'll be just a breeze. So it'll be 2 passes, 1 low, 1 high, and it should be good to go. And that'll make things much easier, and I'll feel better about my property. All right, let's talk about a couple things that I did wrong. First one is there's a safety connector, a kill switch for safety that's connected right in here. And I like the way Joe designed this. So when what I did just happened, it doesn't damage anything. Those wires were pushed up into that fitting, and I did not have enough slack because I didn't realize first time using it, and I did not think about me going up that high. And because I had this kind of wrapped around my brush guard here, when it went high, it pulled it out. So not a issue on the equipment, it was an operator issue. So that is something I'm going to have to keep in mind. So that tells me that I need to figure out a way to secure that right here, and then let this just be what it's going to be and be loose, and make sure I've got enough slack to get up and down. If that were to happen, and it, just like it did, you just come over here and hit the gas switch here. This machine it's heavy. On a little tractor like this, you can feel it. So another reason I like to have some weight back here, and I'd either have a box blade back here, or the rotary color bush hog on the back to give me some counterbalance, just to make it feel solid on the ground. Probably what I will end up doing, I've got the fuel tank over here, but that, you know, water weighs 8 pounds a gallon. That's not a lot of weight, and fuel weighs a little bit less, I believe. So I'll probably end up putting some sort of counterweight over on this other side, and that'll be good. Using it for the first time, you saw that when I was moving, there were a couple times that the branches were hitting me in the face, so I bought the one that you can offset. So I'm probably going to push this over and offset a little bit more, and that will require me to definitely have a little counterweight over here. So I'm going to figure out the best way to do the counterweights. I can probably put them right here, move the fuel over there to the other side. So that's probably what I'm going to do, is put some counterweight plates in here of some sort, and that'll help balance it out. Also, when I was driving here on my trails, until I get my trails cleaned out, they are kind of narrow as far as the branches and stuff coming in, and this is wider than my tractor, right? So you got to be wary. I hit a couple of trees coming in. Look, I wouldn't say trees, just branches, and they wanted to bind in the blade. And after the first time that happened, I realized that, so I had to start angling to the left, but then that pushes that corner over. So you just got to be aware of the trail and the model of this that you're getting. I like having the offset and being able to go over more. In a perfect world, I probably wouldn't need but maybe 8 inches that way, and then I could cut that off, and then be done with it. And that way it'll narrow my footprint as I'm going down some trails, because my trails at the least, I've got some that are going to be narrow, and there may be a couple places I won't be able to get this in there because of that. So in my mind, I'm already thinking of a modification if I need to get this as far as I was ever want it, and then maybe taking that up to my local weld shop and let them cut it and put that end plate back on that side, and that'll keep that thing as narrow as I need it, and for those trails. But we'll see. You know, it's gonna be trial and error. Build quality, I'm pretty impressed with the build quality. Everything is solid. This is aluminum, but you know, it's good that it's aluminum. It saves on weight, but it's very well put together. The welds are good. These blades, you saw what they did. They do the job, and I'm impressed with it already. I can't wait to put this camera down so I can get on, get it on. I want to do this whole side now, so I'm excited. It's really it's a good investment, and Joe, appreciate you're taking the time with me to to cover a few nuances to help me get started. But we're going to get this thing cranked back up, and I'm going to clean up a few more areas around this food plot and go from there. So overall opinion, I think put this back on here. Overall opinion, I'm glad I made this purchase, and I'm gonna test it out thoroughly and do some more recording. I'll do some stuff from the cab here. I'll mount a couple cameras and you can see what it looks like from that view. But we're gonna be using this extensively on the farm here and at my lease, and wintertime's a great time to do it, and because you're not messing with leaves and stuff that can help gum up the blades. So I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing so far. It's got a lot of potential, and the motor's good. It's a good brand of motor, and as long as that thing does its job, it should last a long time with proper maintenance. So anyway, thanks for joining me at our farm, Patriots Landing. And as I tell everybody that watches my video, I'll see you in the field, and we're going to be trimming up some branches. So I'm going to go do some more of that because it was pretty satisfying. So we'll see you next time.